once again. Last time I talked about language, Swahili language. So today I want to revisit the same topic, but now in a different perspective. That is language and brain. I know there are many things that could come or could run across your brain, across your mind when you think of language. Maybe if I can get a small cue or a small explanation or what do you think when you hear language? When somebody tells you about language, what comes into your mind? The first thing.
The way to communicate with the next person.
Yeah, that's very good. Is there any other thing that will run across your mind?
Culture.
Culture. Okay, very good. I see you're a good student. So, yeah, there are many answers. First, you'll know that people will say about the tongue, the lips, the ear. Those are the first things that comes across your mind when you talk about language. But there's something very crucial that comes across you. That comes across as you talk about language, and this is the brain. It's a very crucial organ. This is an organ which differentiates us with animals, and we have different brains depending on the organism, the classification of organisms. So I was trying to wonder, when I was a small child or a small boy, this is me when I was a small boy. I used to wake up very early in the morning. So I ran, and I could say that I prefer running a marathon early in the morning before my brain figures out what I'm doing. Why could I be saying this? Because marathon is a very tough race, and it is quite involving, especially running. You are very tired. You can't finish. Some of us cannot finish this race. So you must engage your body before the brain starts noticing that you are running. So by the time you are finished running, the brain will not know. Why? The brain is divided into two hemispheres. This is something that it's abstract to explain, but it's divided into two hemispheres, the right hemisphere and the left hemisphere. These hemispheres have different functions. The right hemisphere controls the right side of the body, while the right hemisphere controls the left side of the body. So, this is the aerial view of the left and right hemisphere. This is the right hemisphere, and this is the left hemisphere. Because I've talked about functions, the right hemisphere's function is about, it has to do with artistic abilities of a person, while the left hemisphere deals with those people who are very talented with arithmetics, like my friend Oyu. It has also language ability, is concentrated on the left hemispheres, amongst other things. So as I've said, it controls the right side of the body, controls the abstract reasoning, and the physical progression of all those traits. This is the representation of the brain. Everyone has this, believe it or not. And the brain is divided into four lobes. The frontal lobe, which is found at the front part of the body, and the parietal lobe, just here, as you can see, and then the occipital lobe, which is found at behind the head here, and also the temporal lobe. These lobes have different functions, and they work in coordination. First, the frontal lobe is responsible for your planning, prediction. When you predict, when you plan, when you speak, when you make movement, the frontal lobe is the part that you use mostly. Then we have the parietal lobe. This parietal lobe is responsible for your sensory part of it, whereby it has the ability ability to taste, pain, touching, all those senses, the five senses that we have is responsible by the parietal lobe, located here at the back of the head. Then the occipital lobe is used for visual processing. Anything that you see is processed by the occipital lobe. Then the temporal lobe, this one is used for integration. All those functions, they are coordinated at the temporal lobe. This is a representation of what I used to think, that a brain is just somebody is just like an object that can be cut and then something inserted inside it. So this is the layman's representation of the brain, and we have the intelligence scale that your intelligence depends on how big your head is. So that's how I used to think about the brain. So the divisions of the brain are, as I had said, so after this lecture, you'll have time to go through this, as I had explained. Now you'll have time to keenly follow the notes. Now, this is very important. Your brain is your universe. Without that brain, that means you are not a person, and you will not survive. Brain is used for survival. So take care of your brain, take care of everything, and you will survive in this world. Otherwise, thank you so much. The next lesson, I will tell you more about how language is represented in the brain. I hope you enjoy it.